Aloha and welcome to Locked In with Soyer. This is our first episode. We're super excited about our new project together. We're launching a company called Summit, and we're diving into all things leadership. And so this is part of it. And we'll just get straight to it and let us know who you are, Sawyer.
My name is Soyer I'm 18 years old. I'm currently at UH Manoa for kinesiology slash exercise science. I grew up on the Big Island of Hawaii, specifically in Kona. I have a ton of different hobbies, especially including the ocean. I enjoy learning new things and enjoy doing difficult things that really push my limits. So
Nice.
that's me.
Sounds good. Um, we are joining you in your dorm room there at UH Manoa. Go ahead and tell
Yes.
us how the first 2 weeks of college have gone. Anything surprising?
Yeah. First few weeks of college has gone good so far. Just kind of adjusting to new lifestyle, getting down patterns of what I'm doing on the daily kind of thing. But for the most part, it's going good. Classes are pretty good. They're enjoyable. Homework's not too difficult, and overall, it's getting enough food,
Nice.
getting enough sleep, getting what I need. So
Nice.
I'm having fun.
Looks like it's going to be a good 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about adventure you've had since you got there.
Um, Adventures I've been on since I've got here.
Yeah, you just pick one.
Uh, yeah. Let's see. Probably concrete jungle adventure of buses and traveling around a city. I'm
Okay.
not used to that.
Yeah.
It's my first time in like spending a decent amount of time in a, what I call a big city
Yeah.
and taking the bus everywhere, knowing how to use the bus and what routes to take. And I've done a pretty good amount of exploring using the bus now. It's a
Nice.
couple
Surfboard
sides
on
of
the
the
bus?
island. So I'm in my bodyboard on some of the buses,
Okay.
but nothing bigger than a bodyboard, and
Do
it
they let
depends on the
you?
bus. Mm-mm.
No. Figures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and tell us a hobby that you have that might surprise us.
Hobby I have that some people may find surprising is collecting shells. The hoarder inside
Nice.
loves to collect stuff that I find interesting, and I like shells. I'm really bad at sitting on the beach, not doing anything. So a lot of times when I'm on the beach, look for shells on the beach, as well as when there's not waves. I like to dive, spearfish, free dive. Sometimes I don't have stuff to go spearfishing, so I just have my mask and I might go for a little dive and just look for shells. And
Nice.
I enjoy collecting them. I enjoy cleaning them and the whole process of it.
Nice.
So
That's super fun. Do you do anything with them?
I look at them, I clean them, and yeah, that's mostly it. Just enjoy having them. I find them really cool, and I like to look at them. I often find myself just walking by and looking at them, and be like, "Ooh, that's cool." I grab it and I like look at it. So
Did you take some of them with you, or are they all here in Kona?
they're all in Kona,
Oh,
sadly. So right now I'm not looking at anything but sea glass that I found so far.
okay.
But I will find shells on Oahu
Nice. Start
eventually.
your collection. Have to have
Yes.
mom send you a picture every now and then if you're
And now
missed.
I took a couple of pictures just to look at.
That's awesome. You're totally reminding me of the creature in Moana with all the shells. Shell.
That's me.
That's super awesome. Um, can you tell me a skill that you would like to learn instantly?
I could learn a skill instantly. Probably be the skill of learning.
Okay.
Just, just makes it where probably getting down the whole process of learning and effectively and efficiently learning and kind of narrowing down my specific learning process and how I can expedite it, I guess.
Nice. Yeah, that opens up the whole world to dive into whatever you want to learn about. Can you tell us about a small victory you've had recently that made you feel really good?
Small victory I had recently and it made me feel really good. Probably be the Spartan race I did
Okay.
3 weeks ago, 21K specifically. It was my first race inside of a non 14 to 17 age division, being the 18 to 25 age group. Therefore, meaning it's a lot more competitive. And I had some doubts, and I was not going into that race even expecting to get anything under 20th.
Yeah.
So it may have affected my training a little bit, and
Was it
I may have,
demotivational? Like you were less motivated?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say so. Like it motivated me a little bit. Like I'd be like, I'm gonna go do this just so I have a chance, and then it was like, but why?
Okay.
And
That's interesting. That's
it
surprising.
was it was more just like the unknown of not knowing how I'd do
Yeah.
in that and how I'd react to like in my head a whole bunch of people just passing me
Okay.
and kind of like the motivational you got this man can sometimes not be motivational. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
so that was motivational on its own, just wanting to not have that happen, but at the same time I went into there not expecting to do super great, but I'm very happy with how I did. I
Yeah. You did
ended up getting like fifth with the
course,
route mess up and
which was
all that.
even the elite athlete
But
missed the course. Like they just totally messed up the course.
yeah,
Marked it
so and
well.
I think
So yeah.
that gave me a lot of motivation to train for next year as
Okay.
well as train for other sorts of
Yeah.
races and stuff. Just
You know
because
you're
it
at
actually means,
top.
yeah,
Yeah.
it means I have somewhat of a chance, and especially if I actually train, then I think I could do pretty good.
Yeah, totally. That's awesome. Yeah, you did super well. I kind of feel bad, maybe not, but I was definitely like sensitive to like, hey, age bracket is not the same. You better start running.
It's fair. It was
So you
constant
definitely
reminder.
know that you're in the top percentage and that if you trained harder, the potential is there to do very well and actually get on the.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah, that's epic. I love that. Um, I know our plans do not necessarily include Spartan races with me paying for them next year. Do you have plans to hit mainland races? You think you're going to do?
Potentially.
Yeah.
I think I'm at least gonna do the Oahu one and we'll
Okay.
see what we'll see what
Yeah.
maybe not the Oahu one, but I guess that time frame wise, I
Yeah.
don't know. We'll see.
We'll,
It just depends
we'll
time
see. It
frame
totally
wise.
depends on what other races come up and what we
Yeah. So
not locked into any.
that and it might be a random night where I just book tickets for the race and randomly somewhere else while I'm
Right?
somewhere else and we'll see.
Yeah, there's a bunch of venues. The ones in Europe look super. I think there's just less rules about the obstacles. They look pretty fun.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Yeah, our we named the podcast Locked In, which I think in 2025 everybody knows what that means. But we're kind of like talking about a bigger picture of being locked in. We're not just talking about like, hey, let's lock in for this game or this class period. Like being locked in life is kind of a bigger deal. So can you kind of tell us, have you always been locked in? What does that mean to you?
To me, yeah, I haven't been I definitely have not been always locked in. I think there's probably some sort of noticeable change mid sophomore year, early sophomore year
Okay.
of high school. I think a lot of it was just wanting to not be how some of the people were around me. And I think the biggest part of that for me was just being consistent with good habits and with people. And
Yeah.
yeah, But yeah, I think I'd say I was definitely not always
Oh,
locked in. You can ask people that knew me when I was younger, and they can attest to that.
no need. What do you think were the biggest changes in yourself? Like, kind of, it didn't happen overnight, but like the before Locked In Sawyer and the after Locked In Sawyer, what were your biggest changes?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest changes, time frame wise, like I said, early sophomore year. It's a lot of change going on in that period of high school. Kind of watching older kids in our group, just people, like the way they treated people, the way people looked at them, the things they were doing, as well as the things we were doing, and the way we were treating people.
Yeah.
I kind of just started like had this feeling that I don't really want to be like this when I get older, and I decided that I don't want to be the person that when teachers see us walk into class, they all of a sudden go from happy or at least not upset to upset or like, oh, this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
And I decided I'm gonna start being kind to people, having actual conversations with my teachers, like caring about other people and just having small little steps and being consistent, whether it's with chores or other habits. And I think that was the biggest change.
Okay. Were you getting lectures to change your behavior, or do you feel like it kind of came about naturally, or some of both?
Probably some of both. I think there's a lot of people that probably told me or my friends like you guys need to stop messing around or like kind of where we felt like we were always getting lectured. So it's more of like a yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think once I really started thinking about it and finding something to look forward to and or something not to look forward to, which is honestly just as strong, I think.
Yeah.
Like realizing that I don't want to be a certain way just really was like it was like its own lecture. And I was like, yeah, I need to change.
Yeah. That's awesome. Um, I guess I didn't really give you an introduction so much. Like, I'm asking you because, by all standards, I would say you've had a super successful high school career. You were able to make those changes in yourself and see your grades improve. You were able to put muscle on. You started competing in races at an upper level, um, pursued endurance sports, and were able to accomplish big, huge, long distances on different mountain adventures. And like, that's kind of why we're here. And I think something you said to me before is that um, like being locked in also meant saying yes to opportunity. And so, kind of describe what that means and how saying yes to different things allowed you to kind of pick and choose the things that you wanted to then excel at.
Yeah, I think saying yes to stuff is something I've really tried to consistently do, especially in the past couple of years. But really, just anytime I say yes to something, whether I think I'm gonna like it or not, a lot of times I've seen it turn out really well for me. And just thinking about it, being like, whatever I say no to, I'm just immediately slamming that door.
Yeah.
It's where if I hear, even if it's wild, like, do you want to go to another country and like do a 150-mile race while you're in your senior year of high school? It's like, sure, yeah. And all of a sudden, I was there, and it was kind of fun, and opened a whole bunch of new doors and met a whole bunch of new people. And I think just saying yes to everything kind of just makes it where you have a ton of different possibilities, and it leaves nothing on the table. And I think that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing
And we will say, like, the yeses are to the healthy things. Like, there's a whole lot of
for
things
sure.
you said no to that you're super glad you said no to because they would have eaten up time and energy and not. So it isn't like yes
Yeah,
everything, but it is
yeah.
yes
It's
to actual opportunity.
for sure.
Yeah. Um, what is a piece of advice you could give someone who's wanting to be more locked in, but really struggling to put all those pieces together? Like, what kind of is there a formula? Is there where you keep trying new things over weeks? Or is it kind of like a mind shift?
It's kind of like I'd say it's definitely a bit of a mindset thing, but I think there's a couple key things that can help with that. And I think the mindset change comes with it. I think biggest things are having a goal,
Yeah.
having something you're working towards, whether it's big, small, or close or far. Like
Yeah.
it could be something from I have, say you're a soccer player, a soccer tournament that we have at the end of the year for whatever club I'm in. And last year I didn't do good, or last year I did good, and I want to do good again, or I want to do good this year, and working towards that, whether that's physical or it could be something else where it's a big thing. Like one day I want to have a good job where I can support my family and the people around me. And that means that I probably shouldn't be making certain bad choices that could either close off an opportunity or put me in a really bad place.
Yeah.
And I think the second part of that is just small steps and little habits that sometimes you just need to fix. And for me, something that I found super helpful is even just like little chores, like making my bed every day, starting the day off with a victory of like just doing something that you can do right. There's whatever your set standard is, you can do that. And at the end of the day, it's a plus. You get to go to sleep in a made bed. Like small stuff like that, just being consistent with yourself and being honest with yourself too. Some things are not achievable in a certain time frame or not achievable at all and being realistic, but even if it's not achievable for you at that time, understanding that and saying, hey, like it might be worth just still doing it and just trying. And even though I'm not going to succeed with it, I tried and I know where I am now. So
Yeah.
I think that's probably my advice.
I love it. Um, that kind of concludes this episode. We just hit 17 minutes. And so we are going to meet back up next week, and we're hoping we can actually film the first try of the second episode instead of this was our third try for this episode. We're hoping that the footage actually worked this time and we have a real podcast that we can publish. Um, and next week, we're going to kind of dive deeper into the concept of having those goals and those passions and like what it looks like to have something you care about and how powerful that is. And so join us next week. We look forward to seeing you. Sawyer, have a great week in your third week at college, and we'll catch back up with you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
See you later. Yeah, I feel like that was good.